In a secret garden hidden behind a house overgrown with vines, a strange tree stands majestically. It's no ordinary tree. Its leaves glisten like the wings of thousands of butterflies catching the morning sun. And on its branches, Taidy, a cheerful and curious 8-year-old girl with crystal clear eyes, is watching two completely different fruits. Taidy looks at the tree in surprise. Wow, what a beautiful tree!
Taidy slowly reached out and touched the first fruit. It was crystal clear, like moonlight, shimmering with a rainbow of colors from within. To the touch, it felt weightless and slightly warm, almost as if it were alive. Taidy, eyes wide with amazement. Warm, too, and so light. It felt like I wasn't holding anything.
Taidy turned to look at the second fruit, which was the complete opposite. It was a pitch-black, opaque, and cold stone, as if frozen in darkness. Taidy couldn't understand why this wonderful tree had produced such wildly different fruits. A mix of curiosity and dread rose in her heart as she looked at the black stones. Why is the other one so black and cold? It's the same tree.
With unquenchable curiosity, Taidy decided to try the fruits again. She reached out and gently touched the crystal clear fruit. Instantly, a warm and joyful feeling spread through her. Images of happy memories flashed through her mind. The bright laughter of days spent playing with friends, the discovery of a tiny butterfly under a leaf, or the time she'd sat so intently drawing that she'd lost track of time, moments filled with happiness and meaning. Taidy, smiling happily, eyes brimming with joy. Wow, it feels like I'm playing with my friends again. Then, hesitantly, Taidy reached out and touched the icy black stone. The chill gripped her fingers and a soft, sorrowful whisper echoed in her mind. If I had done that, why did I let it go? It was an emptiness, an irreversible regret. Taidy reached out and touched her own face, welling with tears. No, this feeling of regret, why is it like this?
Taidy was shocked by the experience. These fruits were no longer just ordinary fruits, but something profound and connected to her life. She wanted answers, to understand why her tree brought her both joy and sorrow in the form of these fruits. Oh, I have to know what the hell this is. There must be an answer somewhere. Taidy couldn't stop thinking about those mysterious fruits. She knew the answer must lie somewhere. She had heard stories about the Library of Time, hidden in the old clock tower in the middle of town, said to hold knowledge from all eras. With a heart pounding with anticipation, Taidy headed toward the library. Taidy stood in front of the large, ancient clock tower in the middle of town, partially covered with vines. The large wooden door was firmly closed. Library of Time, there must be an answer to those fruits. The clock tower looked old and quiet. Inside the library were bookshelves that reached skyward. The smell of old paper wafted through the air. Little Tandy looked like an ant amidst the piles of books. The library keeper was an old man with enlightened eyes named Uncle Cronus. When Tandy told her about the strange trees and fruits, Uncle Cronus smiled gently and nodded. He led her to a corner of the library, pointing to an ancient book. Sometimes the answers aren't always found on the pages, little one. They're found on the journey. But I want to know what those fruits are. A glowing ancient book sat on the stand. Taidy reached out to touch it excitedly. The light reflected in her eyes.
The book didn't offer direct answers, but it told of the stream of life and time woven into the fabric of existence. It mentioned the legend of the weaver of time and the fountain of lost memory. The stream of life? The weaver of time? What is this? It seems the adventure has truly just begun. Following instructions from an ancient book, Taidy discovers she must travel through the passage of lost time, a mysterious forest where time seems to warp and come alive. As Taidy enters the forest, illusions and echoes of different times appear around her. Taidy looks around curiously. What forest is this? Why does everything seem so strange? Some of the images were vibrant and full of life, like crystal clear water. She saw children laughing and playing, an artist earnestly painting, or someone helping others with kindness. Those images filled her heart with warmth. Taidy said, "Wow, these images are so beautiful. They're like the happiness I once felt." But some images are dark and faded, like black stones. She sees people sitting in a daze, letting time pass aimlessly, endless waiting or missed opportunities. Taidy feels the weight of lost opportunities and the lightness of moments well spent. These images make me feel uneasy. She encounters tiny spirits of the moment, constantly running around, some lost in the void. They show her the two extremes of life. Taidy must learn to navigate this path, choosing to focus on the bright side and not letting the emptiness hold her back. I have to be strong. I will never let negative feelings discourage me. After traveling through the forest of lost time, Taidy arrives at the mysterious cave mentioned in the book. Inside the cave, there is a pool of clear water that reflects her past. In one pool, she saw herself sitting, diligently studying her drawing, her face filled with concentration and happiness. This was a moment as clear as a crystal. In another pool, she saw herself staring blankly at the wall, bored and waiting for something to happen. This was a moment as dark as a black pebble. Those reflections didn't judge her, they merely showed. Taidy noticed that those moments, whether bright or dark, were woven into the fabric of her life. She began to connect her actions with the fruit on the tree, and began to understand that the tree didn't produce these fruits, but rather reflected the moments in her life. Taidy muttered, thoughtfully, It doesn't say who I am, it just shows off, huh? Taidy walked deeper into the cave and found a glowing root system leading her to a secret room hidden beneath the time tree. Her heart was pounding with excitement and anticipation. Within the room, a large, ancient tree throbbed like a living heart. From the tree, the gentle yet wise whisper of the tree spirit echoed within Taidy's mind. My child, this tree does not create anything, it expresses. Each crystal fruit represents a moment of life you have embraced, lived fully, learned, or brought joy to others. Each black stone fruit represents a moment slipped from your hands, unrealized, unused, unlived. It is a lost part of you. It is not simply wasted, because a second is not just time, it is a fragment of existence, a rhythm of being. My child, a second is not just time, it is a fragment of existence. Taidy felt as if struck by lightning. She understood. The black stone wasn't just empty, it was lost. A lost part of her life that could never be recovered. This reality made her saddened by what she had lost, but it also sparked a strong determination in her heart. It's not just empty, it's a lost part of me. I won't let that happen again. Taidy returned to her time tree, but now she no longer looked at it with the same eyes. She understood. She no longer just observed, but she felt a deep connection. She knew that she could not change the fruits of the past, but she could determine the fruits of the future. She decided to nurture her time garden with intention. She gently touched the crystal fruit, feeling its warmth and purpose. Then she touched the black stone, not out of fear, but with a deep understanding of the lesson it taught her, a lesson that reminded her to live life to the fullest. She might consider planting a small crystal in the soil around the tree, symbolizing her dedication to creating more beautiful moments. As the years passed, Taidy grew into a young woman of wisdom and a joyful spirit. She never forgot the lesson learned from the time tree. Her tree still stands, but now it sparkles with many more crystalline fruits. Although some of the black stones remain, they serve as valuable reminders. Taidy often tells the story of the time tree to the younger generation, not through rigorous teaching, but through engaging them in fun and creative activities. She encourages them to learn, explore, and create something new every second. She lives by example, appreciating the value of time, and every moment is filled with meaning and purpose. This story teaches us that under the sun, there is no loss more regrettable than wasting time. Losing even a second is losing a part of life, and that living every second to its fullest potential is the greatest gift we can give ourselves and the world. Taidy has discovered this profound truth and is living the rest of her life to the fullest, cherishing every breath.